This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Feeling good? Got Olympic fever still?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Feeling the US of A?
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're going to medal.
I think we're going
I think we're going to have the most medals.
We're doing
Okay,
well.
we're going to be a contender.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it, guys. We're starting today with an unlikely star from the Paris Olympics who is a member of the U.S. men's gymnastics team. They took home a bronze medal in an all-around competition. It was the first medal for the men's team in 16 years. And it all came down to 25-year-old Sweetin to secure the win. He was there solely to compete on the pommel horse, which was the very last event. Do you see the tension building?
I'm feeling it.
All right, after taking his glasses off, he completed a nearly flawless performance, sealing the team's quest for a medal, and he was really happy after the dismount, as you could see there. But I don't know if he could see. That's the problem. He's now becoming an internet sensation with people comparing him to Clark Kent. Here's what he had to say about the whole thing.
I mean, that's an awesome comparison. I will definitely take that. In a way, it is kind of like that. You know, I'm a goofy guy with the glasses on, but as soon as I take them off, I'm locked in. I'm ready to go.
I think everyone's loving this guy right now.
Not love
He's having a
kid.
moment.
Yeah, I think somebody needs to figure out how to take this moment and make it last. I'm looking at
Warby
Parker.
Did you see the tweet that, like, Warby Parker, if you don't pick this guy up right now, what are you doing?
I just had that thought as I was looking. It's just so interesting that these people that don't traditionally look like pitch people for products are just kind of left out there where, like, you and I are, without even talking,
Same
we're
thing.
like, where are the glasses companies?
Totally.
What are you guys doing?
Lens crafters, get on this guy.
Yes.
And I was watching him, and I've never seen it. He turned himself on the pommel horse with one hand. And he did it twice, and it was just beautifully done. He also had to sit like this, and we thought he was sleeping for the whole time during 5 rotations, and they kept being like, Steven, you okay? Steven, wake up. He's like, I'm good. And he would just go over the routine, and then he just nailed it. And it was a great moment for USA.
Well, you're into meditation, so you should have recognized
lovely.
that.
Yeah,
yes.
nice.
Shout out to Pema.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just love this time of just Olympics in general because you get like these stories, you know, what is really driving these athletes and sometimes you learn things in the moment, like right before you see them take the stage in their respective sport. And it's like you've been cheering for them for their entire lives. I mean, I looked at Frederick Richards, and he, a young man, goes to the University of Michigan. He talked about being the only black male in basically his entire growing up and coming of age, and how he uses his platform in order to amplify men's gymnastics for boys who look like him. And I was just so riveted. Brody's story about his parents and his mother passing away.
And his big fall.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I could hardly look.
I know.
I could hardly keep myself together.
It was great.
So I do love this time of the year because you become so invested so fast.
Did you see they put heart monitors on the parents, and you got to see them go up? And one of them, for Brody, when he was going to go, it was like 140, 180, and they were like, slow down, slow down.
Oh my gosh. Did you hear Richard's father?
Oh,
when he was I was like, I think
it was
the
like
man is about
spiritual.
to give birth.
But he was like spiritual for him.
Yes,
he was holding
it
it all
was.
in, and then
It was.
bam. It was
I
great.
think it shows the importance of storylines. It's like just like American Idol, you talk about all the time, Jeff. Otherwise, it's just a singing contest.
Absolutely.
But when somebody goes, this is a song my grandfather used to sing to me, and he passed away and said I can win this competition. Before they even start, you're like, I love this guy. I want him to win.
Yep.
You need a storyline, and that's what the Olympics are doing well with doing.
Steven should start dating Hawk 2 girl. Power couple right there. Power couple.
I think TMZ would melt.
Yeah, that would be like the new Ben and Jen. They're on their way out. We need a new couple. All right. Speaking of the Olympics, Jodie Sweetin is weighing in on the last Last Supper controversy at the opening ceremony, Jodie seems to have posted a subtle video to her Full House TV star Candace Cameron Bure. Candace was upset over a scene featuring drag queens who some said mocked Christianity by depicting the painting of the Last Supper. So the opening ceremony director said the scene, which also featured a man dressed as the Greek god Dionysus, was not inspired by the Last Supper at all. So instead, it was inspired by this painting called The Feast of the Gods, featured in a French art gallery.
There's Dionysus in the front.
That doesn't really look like that photo, in fairness.
I don't know. That one seems a little bit more party-oriented than the Last Supper.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's a bacchanalian orgy feast.
Like I said.
But the other one looks a little bit more like the Last Supper,
right.
In all fairness. Jodie posted on Instagram writing, "Tell me you don't know about art or history without telling me you don't know about art or history." How rude.
Well, I think, go ahead, please.
No, go ahead.
Well, I think it's just the intention. We've heard from the guy who created it, and the intention matters, and he clearly said why this was used was for the Olympics because it's Greek. So they used a Greek god's tableau. Now, he hasn't lied about anything before this. He isn't going to lie about anything after. I thought it looked like the Last Supper. I said it yesterday. I said, as an art history major with that halo, if you go to the next picture, the main person in the front, with that halo, that generally looks like a lot like
That's
an image.
depicting the Last Supper.
It really looked like that to me.
Here's-
However, if he's saying it isn't, it isn't.
That was my point from yesterday when it first became a controversy. People believe that it looks like the Last Supper because that's the only context that you are familiar with. And the truth is, when we talk about the history of this planet, the U.S., especially since we have been the most vocal about our outrage, or some people have been the most vocal about the outrage, has to understand that the U.S. is literally the teenagers of this planet. So when we want to weigh in on certain things without the depth or scope of the history of art or the history of pretty much anything else, we always have to have that in a little bit of context. If you are the creative director and you say that this was my inspiration for this art and art is subjective, then we as the consumer can look at it and say, okay, yes, I can see that being the case. If you choose to not believe it, then don't get on your high horse and your hierarchy of religion and platforms. And this is coming from someone who is a Christian and has grown up and went to a Catholic university and all of the things. So I had to take all of these classes, right? I don't believe in hierarchies, in belief systems, and deities. I just do not. So you can have your opinion. Your opinion can be very much rooted in feelings and not fact. But when you jump on and declare something that has nothing to do with you, in order for you to leverage your platform and say that I'm a Christian, therefore I'm better than everyone else, I have a problem with that.
That's not why I think I'm better than everybody else. It's a number of bullet points. No, Erica, honestly, I agree. And Jeff, it seems like you disagree, so I really want to hear from you because I was on the same plane as probably you and Tori and Erica yesterday because I was rooted in ignorance. I did not know about the previous Feast of the Gods painting, and when I did see it, especially with the people kind of dining and having grapes
And having the
and
arms
looking
up,
like there was
right.
some debaucherous fun going on, that scene looks more like what we're looking at than
And would make more sense in a
Last
Greek
Supper.
Olympics than a Christian Italian painting of the Last Supper. That would make more sense in the scope of things, is what I'm saying.
Jeff, what do you think? Are
Yeah,
you
I mean, I
changed?
definitely think it looks like the Last Supper.
Right.
And I think, if just like Erica's opinion, I think Candace Cameron Bure is entitled to her opinion.
Yes.
It doesn't mean one is right or one is wrong. It's just saying, if you're going to give an opinion on this side, she should be able to give an opinion on that side. And it looks very much like the Last Supper to me, even though they're saying it's not. I believe. How do you confuse that? Being ignorant in art and history, me, both of them, that looks a lot like the Last Supper.
Right.
So saying that it's not doesn't, that's an opinion.
And are we leaving out the fact that both that the Last Supper painting can be kind of somewhat based on the Greek gods painting, or vice versa?
I think we're leaving out the intention of the artist,
Yeah, I think we have
which
to-
ultimately
Right.
has to account for a little bit more than our feelings.
Or our opinions.
Right.
He's saying I based it on this, and that's more than an opinion, in my opinion.
I got more to say, but we are out of time. Luckily. See ya. Well, we'll be back. Welcome back to DBL. It used to be hosting the Oscars was the most coveted gig for a comedian. Well, today, not so much. Al Jackson, would you like the job?
I'm into it. I'm here for it.
She's into it.
Let's go.
All right, it's not a no. Jimmy Kimmel, who hosted the Oscars earlier this year, has reportedly turned down the gig for the 2025 show. He's hosted the show 4 times already. And comedian John Mulaney, who recently hosted the Governor's Awards, also reportedly passed on the hosting the Oscars. So why doesn't anyone want to host anymore? We have some thoughts. The Golden Globes also ran into a hosting problem when it couldn't find anyone to take the job. Joe Coy filled in last minute, friend of the show before the show, and we all know how that went down. Great guy, Al, I think it's a tough room. I don't know if it's a comedian's gig anymore, or is it?
I mean, maybe you just need a professional host, but it's weird. We've been showing clips of these kinds of award shows for 7 seasons now, and what do we show, Erica? Mostly the jokes, because that's what people come from. People come for the jokes. They kind of want to see the rich and famous get ribbed a little bit, and usually it's taken in good fun, but I think it's not that fun for the comic anymore. Joe Coy had to do a year of damage control because he did a show, the shows that I've done a million times, where the audience knows each other. The audience is very wealthy. The audience has never been told no by anybody because they have money. And so who's this little man making jokes? Why is he making fun of Erica? That's my ski buddy. And so you can feel the energy because overall...
Snowboarding.
Yes, but like really doing a show for a bunch of rich people is the worst gig that you could possibly do besides maybe a college gig. And so...
Or corporate, right?
Right, and the thing that all those have in common is those people know each other in the room. So when an unknown person starts making fun of Tori, it's like, hey, you don't make fun of my sister. Hey,
Well,
don't.
you
And,
guys
like,
would allow that.
You can feel that.
Yeah,
we make fun of you.
Yeah,
Nobody else can.
I think when you say in the last 10 years, we also aren't taking into consideration the internet and immediate feedback.
Totally.
Like before, you would have feedback on Monday on morning radio or on, different entertainment shows. And it was just, my opinion or Jeff's opinion. It wasn't like this collective sentiment that something had gone awry in the moment, where people are able to respond to it in the moment.
Totally.
So you really are catering to like 3 different audiences: the audience in the building, the audience online, and the audience who's actually watching,
Yeah.
which is
Oh, yeah.
almost impossible.
And it's also an election year. I don't think you want to touch that.
You're right. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. She became a cultural icon as Kelly Taylor on Beverly Hills 90210. And today she's busy as ever being an actress, an advocate, a podcast host, and now a clothing line designer. Earlier we spoke to Jennie Garth all about it. Take a look.
Please welcome back to the show, Jennie Garth.
Hey, Jennie. So we hear you're launching a new clothing line that you designed with your daughter. The line is for all ages. So I wanted to ask, which aspects did your daughter bring to the table and which did you?
We have been doing this from the get-go together, hand in hand, picking every fabric, every thread, every button, and we've just been working side by side since the very beginning. I'm so grateful for her because she really does crack the whip and keeps me on track.
I like it.
Our line includes a piece with a nod to 90210, which I'm a huge fan of. Could you tell us more?
Yes, our debut collection has some really beautiful denim pieces in it, and one of them is actually named the Dylan denim jacket. And, it is named after my dear friend Luke Perry. He's just been sort of like a beacon of inspiration for me as I've moved into this new chapter of my life and needed some reassuring sometimes, so I can really feel his support with me, and I am so grateful for that. And the exciting thing about the denim jacket and all the denim in this collection, it is all made from plastic bottles that were bound to end up in the ocean. So we're feeling really good about that.
That's amazing. I got to give you a round of applause for that.
Absolutely,
Thank you for that.
Very cute as well. Looking back on the 90210 and 90s fashion, what is something you hope never comes back? I'm going to tell you something I hope does.
What?
I love those chokers everyone wore on the show.
Not the puka shell.
No, just the women.
The black ones.
My daughter's wearing them already.
See, I love those. Is there something that you hope never comes back?
Yeah, the spandex and scrunchy sock combo that they put me in for the pilot. I hope I never see that again on anybody.
Your podcast is called I Choose Me, and it's all about taking time to put yourself first, which is something I can never even imagine. So, like, is this something you've struggled with as well?
It is. That the whole reason that I am doing the podcast and the clothing line all under the sort of umbrella of that mantra, I choose me, is because that was something that Kelly said, but she had to choose between Brandon and Dylan, and she chose herself. And that was such a powerful statement for me as a young girl to say, and for other young girls around the world to hear for the first time. And I wanted to sort of bring that back to the forefront of the conversation and remind people that it's never a bad idea to choose yourself. It's actually vital to your well-being. And so on our podcast, we talk a lot about the ways you can choose yourself. I share a lot of ways that I've chosen myself. And we talked to a lot of very interesting guests about some topics, some very vulnerable, very open conversations with people.
Speaking of guests, what I love about the transparency and vulnerability of your podcast is 2 of your recent episodes that were already released is with your ex-partner, Peter Facinelli, where you talked about co-parenting. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about the ways that you can do it better or the ways that have been a hindrance, and that's how we all learn. So did that experience bring you 2 and your families closer?
It did. I did not really realize the impact it would have on both of us and the kids. And we wanted to sort of share the experience that we had and show that, you know, it can be a struggle. And we wanted to show what it was like to come out of it on the other side. And we hadn't really even gotten there until we recorded this podcast. We hadn't really even sat down and talked in this kind of really vulnerable way about how the divorce affected each of us. And it was really, what's the word, cathartic for both of us, I think, and very healing to just put that behind us and move forward with a really open mind and just love for, you know, appreciation for one another.
Jennie, congratulations. Thank you for joining us. DBL Nation, Jennie's new clothing collection, Me, is available for purchase exclusively on QVC.com, launching July 29th, followed by monthly drops with new pieces.
And how big this is going to be?
I know. Be sure to listen to her podcast, I Choose Me with Jennie Garth, wherever you get your podcast. Thank you again, Jennie. Great to see you. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Jennie.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out.
Steph, what do you have for us today? I want to shop.
Hello, Tori. Hello, DBL Nation. We are so excited to show you the deals today. As ever, they're wonderful. So let's go shopping and check everything out. First up, we've got the Rocketbook Panda Smart Planner. This deal includes 1 notebook, 1 pen, and 1 cleaning cloth. We have seen this as high as $38 to $40.
Okay.
But we've got this for $15, which is saving up to 63%. Up next, we've got the Gillette 6-piece eyeshadow stick set daylight neutral colors.
Oh.
This deal includes 6 eyeshadow sticks. These eyeshadow sticks are amazing. Because they're so amazing, we have got a limit on them, 2 per customer. These have been priced up to $70.
No.
We have got a 6-piece set for $19.99. That's a saving of 71%. Up next, we've got the Fit Pulse single motor vibration plate machine. This deal includes 1 vibration training machine with resistance bands, loop bands, and more accessories. Now, unsurprisingly, these are always a hot seller on Morning Save, but quantities are extremely limited, so do not wait to get this. We've seen this as high as $170.
Yeah, that's a big piece of machinery.
We've got this for $79.99. That's saving 53%. Our last product is the Sharper Image 2-in-1 steamer and iron.
I need this.
This deal includes 1 steam iron fabric steamer. This has been priced up to $60.
Okay.
We have got it, however, for $24.99.
Nice.
Which is saving 58%.
Nice. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or just scan the QR code on screen. That will take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Steph, thank you so much.
Welcome back. I can't help but notice those cupcakes in the distance.
Well, it's cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
And
Yes.
isn't it National Cheesecake Day?
Yes. Yes, it is. So
those
you'll
calories
have to go to
don't
our
count.
Socials.
Yeah.
Yeah, to check out what's going on here.
Good tease, Erica Cobb. Good tease. We'll see you guys
So
tomorrow
good.
with a little cheesecake stuck in our teeth.